Hey, sister. Jasmine knew that voice immediately. She whirled around and saw Virgis waiting from a parked car behind the taxi stand, confirming to Jasmine that Virgis really was an angel. She hadn't even called her. And look, Jasmine took off toward the black BMW, smiling widely, so glad she wouldn't have to wait out there with people staring at her. Lady, you know you are a mind reader, Jasmine said, grinning as she opened the front door passenger seat. Sister. You just a lucky lady. I dropped off Sister Washington and Sister Brooks. They going up the wild flicking for that seafood buffet that Andre run up there at the club. It's nice, girl. You want to drive up there with me later? I believe he from Detroit, too. I can't remember his last name, but he sure serve a fine seafood buffet every time we go. Virgis urged Jasmine as she pulled away from the curb and headed in the direction of Jasmine's apartment. Andre's from Detroit? Unless he went to our church. There aren't too many folks I really knew in Detroit. I spent most of my adult life in LA, Jasmine stated, wondering what time she would get up Monday morning to cash her check at the bank on post. I have to pick up some things I ordered for the officers' dinner next weekend on post Monday morning. You need anything? I can pick you up on my way, Virgis questioned. You are too much, Virgis. Yes, please pick me up Monday morning, Jasmine said, shaking her head at the way Virgis had a way of doing just what she needed. Virgis said she had a little time and decided to come up to the small apartment and submit tea with Jasmine. The two women had enjoyed doing this many times over the past months. Jasmine looked up to Virgis. She was more like a nurturing aunt than a mentor. There was something that spoke of family in her warm personality and graciousness. Then again, maybe size had something to do with it. This thought brought up fleeting memories of Persephone for Jasmine. Ever since their chance meeting, Jasmine had become a familiar figure around the Alexander household. The couple had no children. Virgil had explained to Jasmine early on that she couldn't have children. Although she'd had 4 operations and had taken every fertility pill, the doctors couldn't explain why. Solomon swore it didn't make a difference, but she never became pregnant. At 45 years of age, Virgis had put the dream of children of her own in the past. She filled this void through the church. Naturally, if someone needed a babysitter, Virgis was there. The colonel was a busy man. It came with the title. But after 7 years living in Germany, Virgis admitted to being a little glad to finally get to go home. Home for Virgis and Solomon was Sweetwater, Mississippi. They had purchased 65 acres there, and Solomon wanted to open a catfish farm, of all things, in Sweetwater. In 2 years, they'd be there with hopes of turning the indigent community around and also feeding Solomon's craving for his favorite food. As they got comfortable in Jasmine's apartment, Virgis began rummaging in her purse. This continued for at least 2 minutes. What are you fishing for in there? Jasmine finally asked. Sister, I didn't tell you. Reverend Silvers has a new CD, and I picked it up yesterday. If I can just find it in all this junk, I got to clean this purse out as soon as I get home, Virgis said, picking through envelopes, booklets, candy wrappers, keys, lipsticks, small packets of Kleenex, packs of unopened gum, and an assortment of other things. To Jasmine, these things spelled out that Virgis was a busy woman who always thought of others. When Jasmine noticed the safety pin holding the lining of the big leather purse together with the inner pocket of the purse, she had an idea. I'll be right back, Jasmine said as she dashed to the trunk that was in the hallway outside her room, which held most of her clothing and accessories. She found what she was looking for, then went in the kitchen, for a plastic bag and dashed back over to Verges, who had by now found the CD. "What you got there, sister?" Verges questioned Jasmine, eyeing the Coach bag. It was a replica of Jasmine's big black bag, only this was tan. "Your purse," Jasmine said with a smile. "Say what now, sister?" "My purse? You gonna give me your handbag, girl? What's wrong with you? Them Coach bags expensive, baby. You gonna just give it to me?" Virgis was going on, but her eyes didn't leave the purse. "Here, woman, take this thing. I don't use it. I just bought it because I love big bags. But I like the black one so much that I never change unless I carry something smaller. So here, enjoy. I wish it was brand new." Jasmine tossed the purse gently into the lap of a flabbergasted Virgis. Jasmine knew she had only used the purse one time on her trip over here from America, but Jasmine would never reveal that fact to Virgis. She'd never accept it then. "Well, baby, thank you. Here," Virgis said, beaming the most sincere smile of gratitude, which made the giving for Jasmine all the more worthwhile. Virgis struggled, got to her feet, and gave Jasmine a big hug. Jasmine had to fight back tears when she suddenly realized Virgis wouldn't be in Germany much longer. After both women were seated again and Jasmine put in a Vanessa Bell Armstrong CD without Virgis even noticing it wasn't the Reverend, Jasmine pointed to the plastic bag she tossed at Virgis' feet. "Now's a good time to clean out that purse. Here, you can put the trash in this bag." Virgis just looked at it for a moment, then started transferring everything from her old purse to the new one. "All I ask is that I don't have to hear that Reverend Silver CD," Jasmine said to the top of Virgis's head as she went about the business of changing purses. "Say what now, sister? You getting ready to go somewhere?" Virgis said, still packing things inside her new purse, all old wrappers and empty envelopes included. "No, I have time. I just wanted to hear Vanessa today, okay?" Jasmine said, trying to remain ambiguous. Virgis didn't press her, and Jasmine was glad. Jasmine had no intention of tarnishing the image of Reverend Silvers in Virgis's eyes, but Jasmine knew about the Reverend. What Jasmine knew about the Reverend would probably anger Virgis, but would change nothing, so Jasmine would keep her secret. After getting everything all packed up and putting her old purse in the plastic bag Jasmine had given her earlier, Virgis stood up to leave. "Sister, how you look? How you like my new pocketbook?" "Nah, my new purse," Virgis questioned as she adjusted the shoulder strap of the purse on her left arm and swung the bottom part toward her back like Jasmine carried hers. "Oh, you looking good, girlfriend. You go, girl," Jasmine said. The two women laughed on their way downstairs as Jasmine walked Virgis to the front door and promised to come to church next Sunday. Virgis thanked her for again as she unlocked her door. Then Jasmine closed the front door and walked back upstairs. Jasmine didn't want to break the news of her impending move, not until things had been finalized.